Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to Sunday morning and the Old Cookbook Show. Today we're going to do a recipe out of an old cookbook sent in by one of you, my viewers. Thank you very much for sending these in. And I got to tell you, this is a book that just grabbed my attention right away. I have a bunch of cooking pamphlets from what I would call, I don't know, snake oil salesman. That's not very polite. But people that sold patent medicine of questionable use, making lots of questionable claims. And one of the ways that they marketed this patent medicine was often to put all of their claims inside a cookbook. Cooking recipes, home hints, all of that sort of thing. And then a real hard sell on every page about their particular patent medicine. In this case, it's Dr. Sloan's liniment. Dr. Sloan, not a doctor, not a doctor. His liniment was invented by his father, who was a vet, and it was invented in order to rub on horses and livestock. And then somewhere along the line, a human says, it's good enough for the horse, maybe it's good enough for me, and they ingest it, rub it on, whatever, and all of a sudden they're selling it to people as a liniment for muscle pain. Apparently it cured almost everything. The Sloan, in this case, is the son of the inventor. He's not a doctor. He was a self-trained vet, but he never went to school, never got a doctorate. He's not a doctor. It's just part of the sales pitch. And I love the cover because it's Sloan's handy hints and up-to-date cookbook. The recipe we're going to do is cream biscuits. Now, cream biscuits, see them in cookbooks in this time period over and over and over again. They're not anything special. You go back on our channel, I use a cream biscuit on a bunch of different sort of pot pies as a topping. So there's one chicken pot pie, and instead of putting a pie crust on top, I put this cream biscuit mix. Kind of like this, but a little bit different. They pretty much don't contain fat or much fat at all. That's how much butter goes in. What does it say? A kitchen spoonful of butter. I'm only making half because I don't need a whole thing. And so it's heavy cream, whipping cream, sour cream is usually what they ask for, or some combination of sour cream and whipping cream. So butter, flour, baking powder, and salt. And we'll just kind of give that a bit of a stir. And another thing I really like about this cookbook is that there's no hand holding at all. No hand holding. The recipes, I would almost say, are slapdash or haphazard. The ingredient lists are non-existent. The instructions for making them, vague at the very best. The measurements are, you know, in heaping or kitchen spoon or handful of this, that, and the other thing. They really don't give you much at all. They toss you in the deep end. They expect that you know what you're going to do, or that you're just going to take the recipe and interpret it your way and be happy with what comes out. This one, you just add cream until you get a dough. So I've got 35% cream. I'm going to start with that much, and we'll mix it in and see what happens. Going to need about as much again. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, this is a biscuit in the American sense of the word biscuit. My Canadian grandmothers would have called this a tea biscuit. If you're English, it's along the veins of scone, but it's not a scone, but it's kind of like a scone. It's the same sort of thing. The recipe says to roll thin and bake quickly in a hot oven. Doesn't say anything about cutting them. And the roll thin is, I don't know. I would never roll it thin. I would always kind of go, what's that, 3/4 of an inch thick is kind of where I would take this. And so I think I'm going to stick to that. So I think I've got that maybe 1/2 an inch thick. I'm going to move it to a baking tray, pizza cutter. Not terribly even. Someone's going to get a bigger piece than someone else. It's rustic. And into the oven. It says to bake quickly in a hot oven. The oven is at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Just keep an eye on it.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Jules.
Hey, friends. How's I see we have some biscuits. Everyone loves a good biscuit.
Did your 10 pounds of flour make a really big biscuit?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you didn't get that advertisement,
That's
then
okay.
You missed out. It was very funny.
So this is a cream biscuit.
A cream biscuit.
Cream biscuit.
Does that just mean it's made with cream?
Yeah, you know that chicken pot pie thing that I make with that on with the cream with the biscuit on top? So I'm gonna put some butter.
Are you? It's very flaky.
It should be flaky.
Lots of layers.
Which is kind of funny because it's not folded. It's not a layered
But it's
biscuit.
still like looking at it, it's got layers. I mean, it breaks away nicely.
I shouldn't. Well, let's have it without it first.
It's a good biscuit. It's a biscuit.
I mean, yeah.
And a little butter, a little jam.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Peanut butter. Wahaha.
Biscuits don't have to be some crazy difficult thing. Like that was super easy, and it still gets flaky and layered. And it would have been so much better an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Straight out of the oven.
Totally my fault. I'll own that.
So this is a very funny book. I really like it. I mean, it's
Funnier than just this?
that hand on the front just makes me laugh.
Funnier, more. There's more humor in this than just that.
I think most of the humor is in the hard sell advertising of the early 1900s for something that, is of questionable use. Although when I looked into it, when I first read all of the stuff,
So I got totally sucked into antidotes for poison.
yes, exactly,
Totally got sucked into that.
handy stuff like that, and how to get your kids to act properly at the dinner table, and that you shouldn't have a woman on each arm unless, what was it, you were protecting them. That was the only reason you would have a woman on each arm. It's very funny. But the liniment, I initially thought was going to have laudanum or cocaine or morphine or something in it with all of the claims that they were making, but it's just capsicum.
Yes. Okay. So I totally got sucked in. What can I say?
So Dr. Sloan, not a doctor. He sold his company to a larger pharmaceutical company that then was sold and rolled into another pharmaceutical company. So his legacy lives on today when you go to the
Really?
pharmacy. Yes.
I'll see something with Dr. Sloan's liniment?
No,
or-
not with him, but his DNA is part of this other
Okay,
company because
just
it rolled in.
Okay.
Anyway, a really good biscuit. Simple to make. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.